Well, hello everybody. Today's little tutorial is on the Panorama Studio Pro 3 program. It's a nice simple little program which helps you stitch your images together into a 360 panorama. So first of all, we're going to open the program. Create multi-row panorama is our first selection at the top, and then we're going to go for importing our images. Simple import button at the side. Look for wherever you've got your images. Mine is on the desktop in a folder called Panel 360 Panel. And the images I'm going to take are all of these that's in there. So I'll select all of them and then open them in the program. There you go, with all the images in the program. Sometimes you'll find that your images are a bit small or a bit large on the thumbnails, and you can decrease and resize the images to suit your setup on your monitor. I always say make it large enough so you can see the actual images, because what you need to look for in the images is alignment, which will help the program work it out a lot easier. All the actual images I'm showing you there are in sequential order, as you can see, from bush to bush, moving along. Each one has an overlap on the next one. So every image will overlap nice and easy. What also you need to check for is if you have any repeat images. As you can see on the image on the end, it is the same image as the one at the beginning. So we don't need the one at the end, so we'll simply delete that image. We've now got all our images, and the next thing is to move on to our parameters. Now this is where the actual software needs to tell or be told, if it can't guess, what camera you're using and what type of lens. As you can see, it doesn't know what the lens is. I've used a circular fisheye, so I'll select circular fisheye. Now you're going to say, well, that doesn't look like a circle on the actual photo, but believe me, that's a circle, but a little bit of the cropping is done by the sensor. So choose circular fisheye and then say OK. Now you've told the actual program what the parameters are for the mathematics for it to do the alignment correctly. It'll simply get on with it. You then get a quick thumbnail again, just to show you roughly how it's going to look. If you notice down below, some of it looks like it's very poorly stitched together, and the images don't look very nice. The contrasts don't look very good. Don't worry about that. It's simply a quick thumbnail to give you an idea of whether or not you're in the right ballpark with your images being stitched sequentially as from previously mentioned. What we need to concentrate on here now is we need our field of view to be a 360, 180. Sometimes the program will reduce itself in the red box, and you'll get a 360 by 175 or something like that. Don't worry about that. We're not interested at this stage because we're going to remove that later in a different program. Okay, you could pause the video at this stage and look at my settings, copy them, and these are all the settings that you need to get a perfect stitch. Now that you can see it started to render, this is where the real maths go on. And what it's now doing is it's looking at each image and each contrast and blending the image to the best possible stitch. So it's taking any frame that might be slightly under or overexposed and looking at all of that and making it as good as it can be at this stage. We can edit if it gets it wrong, but 9 times out of 10 you'll have a very good stitch. Here we are, the image is now completed. It looks good to me. There's no overlaps that I can see. I don't need to do any optimization. I don't need to resize it. I'll simply move on to save the image. Simply save the image. You've now created the image. I'm not going to use this project again, so I'm not going to save and go back. So I'll say no at this stage. Okay, moving on. We've now got the image already stitched. So what we want to do now is view the image. So this little program here, Ricoh Theta viewer, which is on their website free of charge, you can download it. We're going to drag the image that we've got, that we just stitched together, into the Theta viewer. Once it's loaded, we'll be able to see the image. And there we have it. Wonderful. This is a great little tool for being able to zoom in and really inspect your image before you then post it out live or whatever you want to do. I've used it for years. It's dead simple to use. I'm dragging it around with the mouse, as you can see. Or you can zoom in, and when you do zoom in, you're really looking for any overlaps at all, any trees that might be bumping into another tree or anything like that. If you can't see any stitch overlays, and it will be obvious, trust me, you'll see it, you'll then be able to say, well, that's okay, that image can go out for a bit more editing, or you can publish it live. As we know, we left a tripod at the bottom of this image still in. Now that is our next tutorial, how to remove the tripod at the bottom, which we don't want to see on our final image, so we will be removing this on another tutorial. Well, that's it. Bye for now. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.